Ever since Outlander first premiered back in 2014, many of us got enticed by the love story between Jamie and Claire Fraser. But we have to admit, Jamie Fraser, portrayed by Sam Heughan, was quite the dashing lead that left many swooning. And for today's video, we'll be talking about our 10 favorite Sam Heughan scenes from Outlander. Do you already have a particular scene in mind? Stay tuned to learn more. Without further ado, here are our top 10 Sam Heughan moments from Outlander to kick off our Jamie Fraser appreciation post. Starting today's list, we have one for Season 1 pilot episode where Jamie and Claire share their first horse ride. Claire is taken upon Jamie's horse after she is discovered lost in the woods following the time trip and is helped to stay warm by doing so. Even though he does end up falling off the horse, to be fair, he had been shot, and Nurse Claire then administers to his wounds. It's obvious that she doesn't yet trust him, but there is undeniable tension between them. Next on the list, we have one where Jamie tells Claire about his scars during the second episode of Season 1. The best episodes of Outlander are the ones that follow Jamie and Claire as they first fall in love. In this scene, Claire points out the scars on Jamie's back that Captain Blackjack Randall gave him and explains their significance of them. For the first time, Claire as well as the audience gets to glimpse his vulnerable side. Later, Claire responds by sobbing in his presence, and they embrace. "You need not be scared of me or anyone else here as long as I'm with you," he assures her. Now, jumping forward a few episodes in, we think Claire and Jamie's wedding night is pretty memorable during the first season's 7th episode. The couple spends the majority of their first night of romance just chatting, which makes it everything viewers have been waiting for 7 episodes for a tender yet heated, embarrassing yet romantic. The nicest part of the episode is when Claire dresses Jamie on their wedding night, and they have their first true kiss. Moving on to the next one, we also think Jamie begging for Claire's forgiveness during Season 1's 9th episode is memorable as well. The most serious argument between Jamie and Claire occurs after a contentious narrative in which Jamie spanks Claire not in the consensual S&M manner, but in the traditional wife must be put in her place manner. But he realizes the mistake of the tradition and humbly asks for forgiveness at her feet. He says while placing a knife to his heart, "If ever my hand is raised in rebellion again, then I ask that this holy iron may pierce my heart." "You are my home now," Jamie continued. "I want you so much I can scarcely breathe. Will you have me?" So, of course, Claire had to forgive him after he's gone poetic like that. Now this next one. We know a lot of you fans really loved it, and it involves Jamie naked in a river during Season 1's 12th episode. Jamie must hide from advancing redcoats by crawling below a water wheel in their mill in this somewhat blatant shirtless Jamie viewing, but it's still a fantastic scene. What made him take his clothes off? To inspect the wheel, which of course wasn't working, which is why he stripped. Even though he spends the majority of this action submerged, his eventual surface is exciting to see. Now we're onto the upper half. Moving forward, another memorable Jamie Fraser scene in the series is his parting with Claire in Season 2's 13th episode. As the perilous battle of Culloden between the Scottish and English approaches, Jamie and Claire will eventually have to part ways. For the safety of their unborn child, Jamie urges that Claire go back to her time. It's got to be one of the most painful TV sequences ever captured. Jamie tells Claire before they make emotional love one more time and she departs. In contrast to everything else, he says, "When I stand before God, I'll have one thing to say against all the rest. Lord, you gave me a rare woman. God, I loved her well." Next, we also have an action-packed scene we love from Jamie during Season 3's first episode. Finally revealed in the battle and Jamie's confrontation with Blackjack Randall is what transpired in this episode. Jamie has previously been seen in action, but this marks the successful defense of all he valiantly fought for, including his honor, his nation, his wife, and his fellow Scotsmen. Jamie remembers the crucial moment when he put his arch-enemy through as he lies on the battlefield, bleeding out and close to death. And the audience applauds. On to the next scene. We have one from Season 3's 4th episode where Jamie rides away from Willie. Jamie fathers a child out of wedlock while Claire is in the future, but he is unable to reveal his paternity to the boy to preserve the boy's fortune. While Willie and Jamie grow close, Jamie eventually concludes that Willie is better off without him. One of the most moving scenes in the series is when we see the anguish and resolution in Jamie's eyes as he rides off. Moving forward, we also have another emotional scene that involves his daughter, Brianna, in episode 9 of season 4. Unfortunately, Jamie is unable to raise either of his biological children. Frank, who is Claire's modern-day husband, raised Brianna. The daughter was born in the 20th century, but she eventually goes back in time and meets Jamie. Jamie is first unaware of who she is, but when he does, the 21 years of love and longing for his daughter are evident in the bittersweet joy on his face. And then finally, wrapping up today's list of our favorite scenes from Jamie is when he loses Murtagh in episode 7 of season 5. The person who means the most to Jamie, besides Claire and his family, is his godfather, Murtagh. When Murtagh perishes in a battle with the British, we are struck by Jamie's unimaginable loss. It comes as a surprise to the audience as well, and Heughan deserves recognition for the suffering Jamie exhibits. With that, we are wrapping up our list of favorite Jamie Fraser moments. Moving on, let's talk about some other shows you should watch while waiting for Droughtlander to end. Since we know it'll take a while before we get to see the premiere of season 7, here are a few shows you could watch while waiting for its premiere. Let's start with Poldark. PBS Masterpiece's 5-season run of the British import Poldark just came to an end. The first 4 seasons are currently accessible on Amazon Prime. Ross Poldark, a British Army captain, takes comfort in the arms of Demelza, his new scullery maid, when he returns home from battling those annoying colonial Americans at the beginning of the series. This drama scores highly as an alternative to Outlander due to its brilliant and attractive male lead, the strong on-screen romance, and the same 18th century setting. Next, if time travel is your thing, then you should check out Timeless. Try this NBC sitcom for a more lighthearted perspective on time travel. Public protest actually caused the cancellation of the second season to be overturned. Even though Timeless ended its run after season 2, it did manage to produce a TV movie that is currently available on Hulu. A group of time travelers pursues criminals through various historical eras using a real time machine, encountering some historical figures along the way. Although it lacks Outlander's gravitas, it is still a lot of fun, and the love story isn't too bad either. Moving on to the next one, you should also try watching Downton Abbey. The popular television series Downton Abbey, which follows an aristocratic English family who lives in the titular house, is now available to stream on Amazon Prime following the release of its motion picture. The mood is similar, with strong female characters, tender love stories, and a strong feeling of time and location, even though the early 20th century isn't a period we've seen in Outlander. In a later season, viewers are even transported to Scotland. For scenery and outfits, Downton Abbey is unrivaled when searching for a program like Outlander. And then there's also The White Queen. If Outlander inspired you to study more about British history, watch The White Queen on Starz, as well as its spin-offs The White Princess and The Spanish Princess. After viewing, you'll be able to list all the kings and queens who reigned throughout this time before Outlander. And did you know? The marriage of the fictional Spanish princess Margaret Tudor to the Scottish King James IV established Bonnie Prince Charlie's claim to the British throne. Fans of Outlander will find the convoluted history tolerable because of the intrigue and finally, our last suggestion for you guys is Versailles. Speaking of roles, if you enjoy Outlander Season 2's lavish and luxurious Parisian court, try watching the risque but historically incorrect Versailles. This racy melodrama doesn't have quite the same depth as Outlander fans are used to, and the characters look a little too freshly scrubbed for a historical drama, even if they are aristocracy. The 3-season show follows the exploits of the French Sun King Louis XIV, the predecessor of Outlander's cunning King Louis XV, but it's still a fun diversion with stunning places and lots of risky liaisons. And that wraps up today's video of our favorite Jamie Fraser moments and series you should watch while waiting for Outlander. Tell us in the comment section below what's your favorite Jamie Fraser moment and why. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you next time!